5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Today we're going to continue a little bit on the lifetime value topic, okay, but not exactly lifetime value. We're going to back up a step. We're going to talk about basic break-even analysis. And you think, well, everybody knows this. Everybody does not know this, okay? I can tell you that. Also, I can tell you that, well, what happened was I was in line at a wedding reception, and it happened that one of our big clients was in front of me, the owner of the company. And when he found out where I worked and stuff, he said, will this work? We're putting a couple $1 million into this. Will it work? And you know, I thought that was a pretty good question. I thought that was a question that deserved an answer. And there was a book out called Direct Marketing Success, which I have over here on my bookshelf behind me, and Freeman Godson Jr. And these slides are from my Reigniter series, Reignite Your Company. A lot of companies, you know, they have a lot of investment, they have a lot of enthusiasm, they have no competition because it's breakthrough product, and they grow like crazy. And then a lot of other people come in. And then a lot of enthusiasm goes down. And then everybody gets tired. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are going along like this, or even down, okay? And so I created a course called Reignite Your Company. And I don't know, I'll put a link maybe if I remember in the YouTube. And this is from that series, okay? So that's what this color background is, all very muted because it's academic. It's about 40 hours of instruction and tools and all kinds of stuff. And I also throw in a profile and data analysis for you and stuff. It's great. For $3,000, you can't buy that profile for $3,000. Just FYI. From anywhere. Okay, so Freeman Godson says you can't guess what's going to happen. If you have a client, if you have a consultant that says, I know what's going to happen, you should fire him. I probably owe my career to Freeman Godson Jr., God bless him, because I thought that sounds really stupid. Why? Okay, because we do know some things. When we're starting from scratch, okay, we're restarting a catalog. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I was out there. We're relaunching something we did back in 1982 or something. Okay. Well, what do we know? We know the contact cost. We're working on that right now because we get quotes. We're going to print 100,000 catalogs. What's it going to cost in the mail? You know, let's just say $1. That's $100,000. Okay, and we're going to contact 100,000 people. We know it's $1. Okay, we know how many because we just make it up. What's our budget? We know a cost per order because in some cases, in the case of back when I was asked the question, we were selling it. We know the cost of goods because we're setting the prices, okay? What don't we know? We don't know the response rate. We know what we got 20 years ago in this project. We don't know really don't know the average order size. Prices have changed. Product mixes have changed. But on average, if you have a business-to-business catalog, and even if you got a consumer, you can take about 1.5, the average price across the board. Because some people will buy twice. 1.3 maybe would be a better number. Something in there, okay? You can also do competitive analysis. You can go get data cards from the list industry. Will tell you the average order of a company, of Land's End or LL Bean or whatever. And, you know, you start to be able to build a framework of what is reasonable. So Blockbuster called me up one time, and they actually flew in twice. The number 2 guy at Blockbuster, Kerry Valentine, and he said, we want to do a catalog. This is actually a copy of the catalog. We want to do a catalog, and you're the catalog guy. Across the whole country, everybody says you're the catalog guy. So remember that. I'm the catalog guy. I'm still the catalog guy. I'm the only guy who stayed with the catalogs the whole time the internet and the flashy, shiny objects came along. Okay. But I said to him, okay, what's your average order going to be? You know, what are you selling? Mostly videos. Okay. Videos. Okay. How many are you going to buy? They weren't that expensive. Okay, I'll say a $35 average order estimate. Margin, not good margin, 35%. That means you're left with about $11, $12. You can take, you know, the average price times 35. But anyway, competitive analysis. And I said, it's not going to work. It can't work. Sorry. You got to get like an order for every 5 catalogs. It's not going to work. Nobody gets a 20% response. And all the buying history in the world can't get you to a 20% response. And so here was a break even of all the numbers. One of the big key problems was their cost of order processing was $8. Yeah, you can see my cursor. Was $8, okay? And the problem with $8 as an order processing cost, when you've only got $10 of margin, you can see you're stuck. You're just stuck. And I said, you gotta, they could have subsidized the order processing, but their order processing was a different profit center. It's where they shipped all the videos to the stores, and so the stores are buying big boxes, and $8 isn't bad. But on a one video package, it was more than anything. Cabela's was kind of in that same situation. I told them that Dick said his order processing was like $1.50, and he took me out to see the warehouses out on the prairie, the million square foot, 1 million square foot each warehouses, and I said, there's no way you can do that for $1. You can't even walk through 2 or 3 of them for $1. And so we fought about that. But what my suggestion was to Dick was that they set a minimum shipping and order processing cost at $25. And so what happened is people stopped buying 1 lure and they started buying 3 or 4 or 5. That probably made Dick more money than almost anything he's ever done. Oh well. Yeah, so in today's digital world, I had this client, Daniel Smith, really like John. John, if you're out there, I just loved working with you. And they said we need to generate new customers, so they hired some social media boys. They were, I think, early 20s, I guess, paid them about $150,000 a piece. They had 3 guys, and they generated $2 million in sales. That's good, right? And John, the owner, said, "Why don't you go down there? They've been doing this for about a year. Why don't you go down there and see what they're doing? See if they know what they're doing." I just love that. That's great. And they told me that, well, we're not going to get into all the numbers. Basically, they told me what they were doing, and they said, and our advertising costs are less than our sales. I mean, so our sales are bigger than the cost of our program. I said, "Are you counting your salaries in there?" No, they weren't. That's just general overhead. Are you counting the cost of the stuff that we're sending out? No. Okay, so that was bad enough, but the worst of it was later we took the new customers they were acquiring, and we found out they were worth 1/4 of what customers had been worth in the past. Their program gave away 10% or something to the affiliate network, 20% to the affiliate, and they suggested a 20% discount. So they were knocking off 50% off the regular off what we would normally make on a customer, and couldn't figure out that wasn't a good idea. So this break-even analysis is very important, and it's a foundation for lifetime value, because if you can't understand one order and one campaign, you're not going to understand the campaigns strung together, and that's basically the idea of lifetime value. So let's go over here, and this is, I know, an eye chart. I can't help it. You're stuck with that. Hey, the cursor's showing up. I don't know. Some days it does, some days it doesn't. But here are your basic numbers that I just went over with you. Here's how many contacts are we going to do, response rate, what's our margin or cost of goods. In this case, it's inverse, but you better know which is which. The average order size, the order processing cost, the cost per piece, and what we get right at the center of this first little spreadsheet. And we have multiple spreadsheets, but to understand it, right here in these lines here, we have whether it'll make any money or not. And so we take those basic numbers and multiply them together. We're getting $3 per catalog, okay? And so add cost of sales, the percentage of advertising, return on sales, 33% is our cost of sales, okay? Overhead per order. So we're going to generate 400 orders. 2% is our target response rate, times 20,000 pieces gets us 400 orders. $60,000 minus the gross margin, or the cost of goods, gets us $30,000 of margin. Okay, we got $8,000 in order processing cost, and we got to take out the cost of mailing, right? So we end up with $2,000. No, that's the variance. $22,000 profit. Simple. Covered it in 10 minutes. Okay, so I hit the wrong button again. I hit the wrong button yesterday. Went on and on and on. We'll keep talking. We'll keep learning. Share it. You can share it with your friends, even if you didn't watch it live, because there's a link. You can go over to YouTube in a few hours, and you'll see this talk all night.